rising next to me. Long drives with the roof off. Those were the days. How you gonna break my heart and get away? So what if I can't be perfect for you? I'm drowning most nights, 'cause you're no longer mine. Drew hearts on my window, passing Jesse. It feels so weird not having you here. Who you gonna love when I'm gone? What you gonna do with the distance? Who you gonna call when I'm lonely? Who you gonna love when I'm gone? What you gonna do with the distance? Who you gonna call when I'm lonely? Who you gonna love when I'm gone? Friend's house and you gave me back your keys. I wonder if you miss me. Did it really have to end? It's really hard to let you go, 'cause I can't see you again. So what if I can't be perfect for you? I'm drowning most nights, 'cause you're no longer mine. Drew hearts on my window, passing Jesse. It feels so weird not having you here. Who you gonna love when I'm gone? What you gonna do with the distance? Who you gonna love when I'm lonely? Who you gonna love when I'm gone? What you gonna do with the distance? Who you gonna call when I'm lonely? feel so right when I disconnect from you. Hard to say it put me through. It's finally catching up to you. It don't feel so right.
Try to lose them in the dark. Colors bleed together, I can't run any faster. It will end before it starts. I'm up against a wall. How can it be growing taller? I'm high on adrenaline. I see the world burning in a vision.
Okay.
Hands up
Okay.
as you fall. Don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall. Singing faster. Hands up as you fall. Don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall. Singing faster. Feel it in my veins. No drugs can do the same. Blood in the wind. we fall, spinning faster. Hands up as we fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as we fall, spinning faster.
It's definitely funnier when you're not sober.
You don't watch. Yeah, okay.
What, this
I'm
movie?
gonna see what the IMDb score on that thing is.
The Drawn Together movie?
Yeah. Because the show, I think the show was 2004 to 2007. Okay, yeah, 7.1. That sounds about right. It was pretty funny. The movie though, 6.1. Carol Channing had a voice role?
I can not think of Carol Channing without thinking of Ryan Stiles.
Yeah. It's like it just goes together.
Did you say the two of them are drawn together?
No, stop.
In your mind. Yeah.
This was Seth MacFarlane, so is this before he got big? I can't remember when Seth
Like
MacFarlane.
Family Guy was
About the same time, right?
Family Guy was before.
I swear this.
Because there's like the initial run of Family Guy, and then it was like, oh no, this is too crass, and they took a break, and they came back a few years later, I think.
Oh, okay.
1991 was the original Family Guy.
Wait, there's no way it was that old.
Sorry, 1999. Did I say one?
Yeah,
You did say one.
He said one.
I also,
Zoomer.
I also thought you said 1791. I was like, damn.
No, I know exactly what I did. Was I was reading 1999 and then I read January 31st, and
You got
I'm
the
like,
one in there?
I got the one in there. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's not right.
All right, let's get this thing going. Get your butt out of the cult.
I will soon.
What are you doing?
I'm also
You're in
wrapping
the
up.
Cult of the Lamb there, G-Stroy.
Yes, I'm in the middle of a run, but runs are like 10 minutes in this game, so.
Okay.
Did you get the poop?
He has not gotten the poop. I got the poop.
Nope, I've not beaten the game yet. I got distracted with Divinity for a bit.
Understandable.
The poo-poo.
Oh, that's right. The session one notes were meaty.
Meaty.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, Thumper. Guess this dog's ass is...
Hey, I don't know what you guys feed him, but it sounds like it's
He's just getting
powerful.
fartier as he's gotten old. In all honesty. He's gotten...
That's just like people, though, right?
Eh, I'm all farty. That's my secret cap.
yeah.
Hey.
I'm always
I'm
farting. Always have been. Always. What's that? Has the Earth been? It's been farts the entire time. Always has been. Oh my goodness.
Well, if you were to say Ohio was farts, I think
Ohio
Mikey
was for
would agree with
farters.
you.
Ohio is for farters. That's a great emo or 2000s emo song. Love it.
Would listen to. Why doesn't Weird Al do that yet? Come on, get on that.
Weird Al's actually kind of highbrow with his jokes.
Yeah,
You're a little bit more intelligent than. Yeah.
that's.
that-
I mean,
that-
that's fair.
He's gonna be
okay.
wholesome enough to perform at like county fairs, you know.
He's got a
Have you
couple
guys
of
seen
songs that
the-
have not aged well, but
Have you guys seen the story about the Weird Al who he was actually a decent artist as a kid, and he had a crush on a girl, and he wanted to draw her for her, but didn't want her to realize that she was or that he was into her, so he drew everybody in his class.
Except for her.
No, and her.
Oh.
But didn't want her to realize that he drew her for her, but wanted her to draw something for her anyways.
Ouch.
so we disguised it in the mass effort.
My brain can't. Like what?
He drew everyone, but he only meant to draw her. Or he wanted to draw her, just didn't want to seem
So he
weird
drew
about
her
it.
a little bit better, probably.
Yes, legitimately, that actually, I think that was part of it, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I read the story.
Draws her a little bit better. All right, well we'll get going with the summary. So last session, all of your characters either arrived at or came out of the Witchlight Carnival, which has arrived at nondescript town X on the Sword Coast. It is evening as the sun set, and all of you are outside by the ticket booth, drawn there for some reason after many years of having something been lost, taken from you at the carnival when you were all younger. We met Zug, the Unmany, kobold druid who seems to be desperate to find something, very desperate to find the thing that he's lost in here, and is a little bit rambunctious. We met Kiwi, who seems to be a little bit of a busker, turtle bard, who has kind of been setting up, following like a groupie, like a deadhead, following the Witchlight Carnival around as a tagger on, not a worker per se, but just somebody who's always there in the periphery, always kind of shows up when the Witchlight Carnival is, feeling kind of attached, but maybe feeling a little bit like the meandering, never in one place nature of the carnival calls to him. We met Rose and Gray, a fairy who fell out of the Feywild a long time ago and has lost her sense of, well, you can kind of figure it out as she got lost many times in the carnival already. So, all three of those who were external met outside, and were suddenly met Velka and Voda, two Herringon Witchlight hands who have been working at the carnival also since coming through on a Fey crossing. And it was their day off. So they were, just going to enjoy the carnival like a normal citizen. All of you went to the ticket booth and found that you had been given tickets. Somebody had already bought your tickets, or at least your first round of tickets. You were explained by the goblin at the ticket booth, that the tickets were worth 8 punches each. A lot of the attractions, rides, foods, and carnival stalls take a ticket punch to participate in. If you wanted another one, it would be 1 silver piece each, as you can come back and get some more. So, after learning about that requirement, and each being given your fairy wings to wear throughout the carnival, which is another happy requirement, you entered. Countering the welcome parade, some of you caught some spinning golden sycamore seeds, others blew some dandelion seeds and made some wishes. And you made your way directly to the Lost and Found, the first thing, obviously, where you'd find some lost stuff. You met Durla, the elderly displacer beast who was watching over 2 children as their parents go and get some food. One of the children ended up touching one of Durla's keepsake items and incited their rage, scaring the kid. Found the kid, brought him back. That was all taken care of. You learned from Durla that there is some strangeness going on with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, the 2 proprietors of the Witchlight Carnival, and that they were concerned with what was going on there. Would like you all to keep an eye out. Continuing onwards, looking for some food, you went to the Feasting Orchard, where 4 of the party participated in a custard pudding eating contest. Doug the Unmany showed off his druid background by turning into a giant hyena, and therefore scarfing the shit out of 20 cupcakes, setting the record for the cupcake eating festivities. While that was happening, Rosen was in the periphery, looking around the crowd who was watching, saw a unsettling sight. Standing silently and staring between the boisterous crowd watching the competition was a little sallow, gray-skinned girl in a tattered gray dress, holding a big lollipop with her face covered behind a kind of dusty, chipped pig mask. And as soon as she saw it, it disappeared, gone within the crowd, and she couldn't find it again. You also met your proprietor, the benefactor, as it were, who bought you your tickets, Eliwick Tumblestrum. who likes to be called Tumblestrom, but you all want to call her Ellie, or Elle. This little halfling was happy to see you and said that you are at the right place at exactly the right time, and then walked behind a tree and disappeared. With your tummies now full, you decide to go and check out the carousel, but not before Voda went back and got her face paints in order to make Zug the Unmany a dragon face paint on top of his skull, to his delight and to Voda's delight as well. Entering the carousel, you met Miss Cloppington, I think her name was, right? Diana Cloppington, and who insisted that she was not a centaur, but a human who made a bad deal. And once she learned that what you were here for and kind of got the air that you were looking into some strangeness, especially after talking about a little girl, she closed the ride down for you and told you in a kind of cryptic way to go and check the names of the horses or the unicorns on the carousel. You all did, solving the puzzle of the catchphrases, like no moss grows on a rolling stone, all in just those common colloquial phrases. And once you completed the name tags with the paint that she gave you, you rode around on the carousel, each of you learning something interesting about the thing you lost. You each learned that a hag has taken the item that you lost. You learned that where the hag was residing or hiding, and you also learned, let's see, what was the last little tittle bit that you learned? Does anybody remember?
We learned like the name of the coven.
Oh yes. Oh, you learned,
three
yeah.
things.
You learned that which hag has your lost thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where they are.
You learned where each hag lived or lives. A college on stilts, dead hollowed out tree, and a mountaintop theater. And you also learned that one hag is allergic to seeing somebody run widdershins. One hag sleeps in a dollhouse and can't remember the first creature she sees when she wakes up. And the hag you seek has foreseen her own death, which happens during an eclipse. So those things all being around, that is
Also,
where.
to be clear, we only saw our own things.
You only heard your own. Yes,
Or heard them,
these
yeah.
were each spoken in your minds.
Okay, so we don't know each other's. We just know our own for now.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, it says.
Oh, and then at the very end, it said the hourglass.
Yeah, they were all. This was all telepathically shared with you all. Telepathically shared with you. So. So that's where we pick up. As the carousel creaks to a stop, all the horses returning to their sedentary forms, and you see behind you all at the entrance, Diana Cloppington eagerly looking over her shoulder, over her centaur, quote unquote, shoulder, back at you, kind of with an eye of like, did you do it? Did you get it?
That was enlightening.
He clops back over, prances, or canters back over is probably the correct term. He canters back over. He says with a low voice, Did they talk to you? Did they tell you anything?
Yes, they did.
I give a shrug.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I actually have a question.
Yes.
You're familiar with it.
Yes.
Have you heard them as well?
She nods her head and she begins to like speak. And then immediately you see she starts to like have that throw up face again.
That face, is that voluntary? Is that a reaction, or is that a
Voluntarily throwing up right now?
Well,
Guys.
no, is she? Okay, what I mean by that is like, is she making this face on purpose? Like she's thinking of something and it's causing her to make this face, or is it involuntary? Like it's a reaction to like she literally can't say it without like she's gonna
me an
vomit
insight check.
instead of say something.
I would
you
say
know?
also while you're figuring it out, Zug kind of cocks his head to the side and then tries to say the name Scabatha out loud.
Yeah, you say it out loud.
Scabatha! Oh! Never mind!
Yeah, so Rosen,
What was that?
you can tell that this is something involuntary. She was trying to speak, trying to say something to you, and immediately it's like her throat. You could see her throat seized up, and she started to like spit out this strange brown tree sap. And actually, you watch as she looks at her hands, and you can see mushrooms blistering from her fingers. And then she just covers her mouth with her hand and closes her eyes, and the mushrooms recede and go away. And sorry, Velko, what were you saying? You heard Zug yell Scabatha.
Yeah, and I said, what was that?
Nothing! Don't worry about it!
Which I can't remember which name was which.
Witches.
It was me and Kiwi had the same one, right?
Well, as far as you know,
Yeah.
yours is. You heard the name Velka. You heard the name Endelin.
Yep.
Evelyn.
Velka
Endelin?
and Kiwi have the same one. Yeah.
And Rosalind, sorry, I'm reading Rosalind. Rosin and Zug,
Zug.
would
So if-
Rosin basically would like shoot eyes over to Zug and be like, "You heard it too.
I didn't say anything.
You did. You heard it. I heard you.
Or just clear my throat! I had a lot of
You
pie!
what?
I was clearing my throat! I had a lot of pie!
Who is this Scabiza?
I don't know.
Thanks, Neon." um. I look back to Diana, and if we speak about it, does that happen?
She looks at you and shrugs.
Is it because of the deal you made? Just nod or shake your head.
I don't
She-
think she can.
She hesitates for a moment, nods very quickly, but that's it.
Okay, so and then I look back over to Zug and be like, Scabatha Nightshade. That's the name you heard.
I just stare for a minute and go, so you heard it too, then? We all heard it?
Isn't that what I started
I
with? Did you
heard-
hear Scabatha?
I was trying to be deceitful.
And I'm pointing to Velka now because you're the one who called it out.
I did not hear the name Scabiza. I heard Edelin.
Wait, different name? But, did you hear Hourglass Coven?
Yes, that I did hear. That I did hear. It's gonna take a while.
I'm gonna look over to Kiwi and Voda. Did you also hear something?
Yeah,
I'll looks
heard.
at Voda expectantly.
Did not see her anything.
Check.
Well, no.
I tell them the truth there.
I'm 100% like.
Okay, question. Do I have advantage on insight checks because it's my fucking twin?
That would
That's
be
between
good.
you
In
two.
mind.
That's between
Yeah.
you two to decide.
Neon, I would say we probably do, right?
Probably.
Growing
Yeah.
up together, yeah, you'd have a
So,
preternatural.
well, I'm not good at insight, but I do have advantage, so...
Could I also do insight?
Sure. Not at advantage though.
I don't know how to turn off
Oh,
advantage
you have to
anymore.
go. I'll fix it in the break. I keep forgetting. There's a little gear setting. I
Okay.
connect-
It's always roll at advantage. Don't be afraid.
Is 13 enough to
I mean, I
peer
figure
into
it
the deepest recesses of your mind?
I'm waiting for everyone to roll, and then I'll.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, I
Gus
believe
is
you.
in my sheet, so I can't roll.
How dare he?
I'm literally watching it change.
There you go.
Thor is being crazy.
Now you
Okay, what are we doing? Insight? Sorry, I think I rolled
Damn.
twice.
You did.
Ow!
But when you don't roll advantage, you roll advantage.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said I think I rolled twice. Thor is taking up my.
All right.
My
So
boop-a-doop-doo.
so Velka just sees through it. Kiwi, did you want to roll against it?
Nah, I believe her.
Okay, cool. But Velka just sees through his sister's lie, and Rosin, you definitely see through her deception.
Voda. Would you care to be a
I
little
think
more?
we should just go and see Carnival, yeah? I think we only have a few more hours until it's
I have
show.
I'm actually gonna look over to Velka. Is she always like this?
Yes.
Were you thinking, or was?
A deep sigh came through the mic, but it was supposed to.
Lets out a deep sigh.
Ah, got it.
No,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just silent for a bit. And then I looked back over to Voda. You know, at the beginning, you struck me as someone eager and excited and
They're eager. Well, let's see, enjoying the Carnival, yeah?
well,
I'm going
but,
German.
but the
A German on
the
trial.
idea of connecting and exploring and all of all of these pieces and
Eyebrow waggle at that.
and you're just awfully you're far more standoffish than you struck me
Do you
for.
not seen anyone ruining the Carnival? Yes?
Are you not at all intrigued by this?
Do not know why I should be?
Wait, why
You
would
had
we...
a voice in your head from a horse on a carousel, and you're not.
When you're around the Carnival long enough, you hear things a lot the same.
Okay, what was
But
the
was
This,
But was this surprising to you? And I look over at Velka and Kiwi because they've also been.
Let's see. Now, listen here, Missy. I've been around this fair a long time. Maybe not in the fair, but I've been around it.
Stalking the outskirts.
Yeah, you're.
And you know what? Not once did I hear a voice inside my head other than my own.
Well, that can probably be attributed to not actually being in the carnival as much.
Well, hold
This is
on.
not
Oh, hold on.
all that-
Hold on. I have a thought.
Uh-oh.
Why? Wait. I feel profiled. We all came here together. Well, independently, we found ourselves here at the same time. We also found the creepy one who walked behind the tree and disappeared, said we were here at the right place, right time.
And the pig. Masked
What pig? What pig?
girl.
What?
The masked pig girl.
Did you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Oh,
she did.
Yeah, I brought it up in Neon. No, not Neon. I'm sorry. Voda was. Sorry, Neon.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Uh,
Voda was like, that's nothing, whatever. But then I brought it up to Diana, and she's the one who's like,
Oh, right. Then it's been citing around
Yeah.
recently. Yeah. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just
That's right.
a thing that happens on occasion.
okay, but come on. There's 5 of us. 2 of you work here. 1, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You're somehow here, but not. You're not from here. I'm not from here. However, we're all here at the same time. We're all trying to find something, or else we would not have found our way here. Covens typically serve in threes. We know 2 names. One of you must have heard another. And they've all stolen something from us. Am I right?
And Velka, you shared about Endelin. Was that the first time you'd heard this name?
DM, is that the first time I've heard this name?
Absolutely is.
Yep. It is not a name that I have heard before, no.
Besides, your theory is a little miscounted, and I point to the carousel. There is 8 horses, meaning 4 sets. Plus 3.
Diana comes walking over and she says, as much as I'd love for you to have more conversation about the insight that you just received, I can't keep this thing closed much longer, okay? I gotta open it back up.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's move along now, and I immediately pull out the big brush and start hurting people.
Yeah. No, I definitely right.
Yes.
As you exit the carousel, though, you hear a jaunty tune being played, literally like what's playing on the beep beep boop beep, boop. You hear a merry tune spilling forth from an instrument on the back of a brightly painted wagon. You see a monkey wearing a cloak covered with buttons, turning a handle at the wagon's rear, sending music into the air from rows of golden whistles. As you watch, you see a surly-looking goblin dressed as a ladybug who toddles up to Zug and is rattling a little tin cup. They look not up at you, probably about eye to eye with you, Zug. Yeah. And this female goblin in the suit just kind of, donate a button.
Button.
Do I happen to have an extra button?
Of course you do. And you have a
Okay.
button on your coat.
I'm gonna look, and I'm really excited.
Spare a button, if you
monkey.
please.
And
I'll
meanwhile,
sew
I'm
it
looking
next
at the
to all of
goblin.
I
these.
have a button.
Does it look like I have a button?
I do. I actually. I have one for you too.
Go
Zach.
talk to her.
And I'll
So the
I'll
goblin
give- I'll
keeps
give-
rattling the button cup in front of you, and then you hear the monkey on the back of the cart start to talk. Spare a button, if you please. I'll sew it next to all of these. I offer nothing in its place besides a smile upon my face.
That's all I need.
That doesn't seem like
Rattle,
a very
rattle, rattle,
fair
rattle,
trade.
rattle, 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 rattle.
I put 2 buttons in.
The goblin prances back over merrily over to the monkey, holds up the can to the monkey, and the monkey grabs the 2 buttons in there, bows deeply as he's still cranking the calliope. Says, "Thank you so very much, my good fairy and my good." My goodness, is that a kobold? How
Yeah, what
great.
of it?
It's lovely. We don't see many of your type here at the fair. Welcome,
Actually-
welcome.
Yeah, I kind of relax at that. So I was like, oh, that's not the response I was expecting from my experiences.
All are welcome here. Any other buttons? Buttons?
I do believe that Voda has given you enough of my buttons.
But you haven't given me one today.
Deep sigh. Just kind of side eyes Voda.
I'm gonna have to just
I
say
lean
that.
forward. I lean forward and loud whisper. Keeps a spares button in his pocket.
The little ladybug goblin waddles up and just kind of tugs at your pocket. Velka.
Give me a persuasion check.
Or the little goblin?
Yeah, have the goblin persuade me.
Well, the goblin or the monkey?
I like how the
I'm
player
giving
was
them
like,
advantage.
DM,
Yeah.
give me a persuasion check.
It's whoever had advantage, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Here you go. 12.
12. Okay, no.
Ernest looks at you with sad monkey eyes.
Is-
Aw. Too bad, old
Unfortunately,
chap.
If I have a button pop off my jacket, I would rather be able to repair it.
Fair enough. What about my turtle friend there?
Oh, I suppose. And take off my hat and rummage around. There's a spare button in there.
Okay, cool.
Utila hat.
Utila hat always has button. All right. So as you give
Also, one more thing. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I would head. Considering the different response than I was expecting, I would waddle over and hand them a. It's not a button. It's a smooth rock. That's as close as I have to a button.
Ooh. Is this what your kind use as buttons?
I don't know. We don't really have many, but I mean, morphologically, it's about as close as I can get.
Wow. Well, this means a lot. Thank you, my good friend. What is your name?
Zug!
Well, Zug, I will cherish this button, he air quotes, very much.
I'm gonna just. Is he being facetious or is he being genuine?
You can insight as well.
16.
He's facetiously genuine.
He's just being genuine.
Oh, okay.
He's a nice guy.
I relax a little further.
Well, we must move the Calliope along. Onward, Marigold. The goblin comes back over and starts pushing the Calliope a little bit ways forward, heading in a clockwise direction away from you, back towards where the lost and found was. Where to next, friends?
See, that is, enjoying the carnival is much more exciting than, voices in the head, you know?
Well, as long as we come back to those at some
I'll let
point.
you bring it back up. We were kind of cut off a little bit earlier.
Voda is
Diana did
visibly
need to.
annoyed.
I just keep talking. Diana understandably needed to reopen the carousel. However, you were very avoidant about that conversation, and I still think there are pieces here. You obviously heard something. You're just full of it and poppycock. If you could just let us know what you heard. I don't understand why you were so avoidant of this. If it's new to Velka, my assumption is it's new to you. Unless you've heard it before and you're trying to avoid it and you don't want... Yes.
If I may, can I have a moment with my sister, please?
Take 3.
Thank you.
A very dangerous offer in the Feywild.
What is a unit of a moment?
With that, just dragging Voda a little ways away from the. They debate the philosophy of moments.
All right, we have that conversation, Zug.
Yeah. I was like, what does that mean exactly?
You did see something, yes?
I saw nothing.
We both know that is not true.
I saw nothing. Also,
Tweet, heard. Tweet. Heard it.
You heard.
we are losing time on the night. If we want to make sure our new friends see what the carnival has to offer, we don't have that much time left to offer, and immediately go back over to the group.
As Voda tries to leave, you hear magically projected through the air, like as if there were loudspeakers. You hear announcement. Palasha the Mermaid will be performing her silver song at the lake in 5 minutes. 5 minutes until the magical chorus is sung. Thank you.
All this talking, standing around, we're going to miss all the festivities.
Hey, windows! That's the singing mermaid. Take a ticket.
Oh no, DM, does the scene
Or cost. I guess I would say cost a ticket. Yeah.
No, the announcement comes back on.
Yep.
The performance at Silver Song Lake is free. Free to all to attend. No ticket required.
It's like I read my mind. What the fuck?
Does that sometimes?
You can see as the announcement goes off, already you start to see crowds moving in that direction, like kids dragging their parents, people pushing their oldie Disneyland strollers in that direction.
With a smile back on her face, she starts making her way to the.
I grab her arm.
They're going to run.
Don't. Well, I gotta get started if I'm gonna make it in time.
I just realized we have the fucking turtle and the hares in this group.
Yeah,
Last week.
and both with the same cast too.
Yeah. Zelda,
Okay.
we do need to talk about this.
Needs to make it to the show. Yes. I turn the face of the group. Are we going?
Ah, mermaid! Woohoo! I run.
Very quickly, you begin to lose Zug in the crowd as he darts between the legs of some of the taller folks, some elves and humans and stuff like that. His little dragon skull or whatever type of skull it is, knocking people in the legs and sometimes giving you hear like a sharp like oh fuck
Sorry.
as the horns protrude and kabonk somebody right in the gooch.
Just nut tapping everybody, yeah.
You just hear the sound of bing 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 bing.
New record! Yeah, I just had to... mostly following the crowd because I don't really know the area, but I'm heading that way.
Yeah, you all follow the line of individuals holding their crotches as as you make your way counterclockwise around this kind of upper loop area and find yourselves in front of a beautiful lake. As you arrive, and there already is a crowd gathering here, but you're able to push your way kind of towards the front, most of you being smaller, and Kiwi now arriving, being big enough to kind of create a zone of, like an area around him with his shell, where most of you can kind of perch or hang out beneath it. So mist begins to gather at the banks of the shimmering lake. Near the center, you see a mermaid lounging in a giant bowl, and she begins to sing a glorious, haunting song that seems to captivate all of the spectators on the lakeshore. You will see everybody's eyes like light up. Some people begin to just openly cry. And in response, you suddenly watch as the lake water itself coalesces into magical sculptures that whirl around her, imitating bits and pieces of the song that she is singing, accompanying her like a set piece. And everybody is just like enthralled by this. You're watching and everybody's just kind of like silently taking in this beautiful song when you hear, "You stink! Boo!"
Can I pinpoint?
How
where
can
that's
they
from?
even smell her from here?
Some of us can smell better than you.
So everybody hears that, and there's like all of you can easily watch as it's loud enough to cross the lake water. Some of the water sculptures that are gracefully moving along the surface falter briefly as you can hear the slightest catch in Palasha the mermaid's voice. She hears this taunt.
Can I tell where the taunt came from?
Yeah, give me a perception check, please.
Oh shit. I'm perceptive. Huh?
Give me a quick second. Anybody else looking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'll jump on whoever's close to me to try to get up high. Probably
Jesus, Kiwi.
It was me. I yelled it.
You know
It's
right
coming
where it's
from my
coming
shell.
from.
Inside the shell.
The little
Is it-
flea.
Is this how we learn that Kiwi's actually a ventriloquist? Ventriloquist. Words are hard, you know?
It was
Good
like,
hustle.
damn that word.
All right, so let's see.
That's
Everybody.
close
Oh
enough.
wow, there's a lot of good rolls. Belka, you're like trying to hop around looking to see where the sound came from. everybody else immediately sees there is a shorter individual who seems to kind of be wrapped up in like a larger robe, who has a big hat on, almost like a wide-brimmed witch's hat, and a big kind of poofy cape robe thing that's covering them. As you all look and kind of look in that direction, Mr. Kiwi, you immediately are like eyes tracking this thing or whatever it is. You once again, interestingly, see them start to move to like another location. You're all clocking them. Those who rolled everybody but Velka, you're clocking where this thing is going. And then suddenly you hear the same jeer again. Boo! You stink!
From the same
Is it are they within 30 feet of us?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So is it the same person who did it again as they moved?
Yeah. And it sounded exactly the same too. Palasha, suddenly you hear her like, la, la, la. She catches in the middle of the song. Everybody kind of lets out a gasp. She kind of starts to look panicked.
I immediately stomp my way over.
Okay, so you're all heading in that direction?
I cast Compelled Duel on him.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Also, Kiwi, if you're cool with it, I jumped on your shoulders to get a better look.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm not gonna get there quickly.
That's
all right,
fine.
so Velka, as it's pointed out where this individual is, you cast Compelled Duel. What does that look like?
Hey, I just pull out the stopwatch and I just press the button, and if you're looking at it, you can actually see it like wind a few times, and then just kind of it stops, and there's just like a little best way I can describe it is like a little area of effect around it, of like a flash of like semi-opaque white light.
Yep.
And then his eyes probably at that point lock with mine.
Yeah, so you see two little beady eyes locking with yours, Velka, from underneath this big wide-brimmed hat. They are rooted in place. Boda, you're beelining to that direction. You hear your brother. You hear your brother. Yeah, what's the vocal thing? Cause is it just the click of the? Is it the click of your stopwatch, or do you say something to them as well?
What would the vocal component be? Vocal component.
He's going, hey, I'm watching the show here.
You don't like it, you don't have to watch.
I don't know. I just imagined like two New Yorkers yelling at each other.
It's probably just stop.
Yeah, nice. So they're frozen. This individual is frozen. Boda, you march your way through the crowd, pushing people to the side as the song kind of picks back up again, and you stand in front of this individual.
Kind of knowing that, I would assume I heard Velka would know kind of what he was going for.
Yep, you've seen him do this before.
As I make my way, I look over the crowd to see if there's any like quote unquote guard standby.
You see a Witchlight hand kind of standing at the back of the crowd, now looking a little bit less nervous as the song has gotten back up. There was a moment where they too were kind of eyeing, doing the kind of like looking over the crowd, head high, kind of standing on a box at the edge of the platform here. But now you stand in front of this individual. They're frozen in place. They keep trying to they try to move and they can't. Instead, you can see that just kind of start to circle or try to move in move away from you, Voda, in a way that still keeps them tethered to Velka.
I will walk the other direction, like opposite of my sister, so that they are dragged towards her, essentially.
Okay, what direction are you trying to pull them? Like out of the crowd? Which way are you going?
Probably. I assume we're probably towards the. Well, I don't know. Are we towards?
You're now in the middle of the. You're now in the middle of the crowd after.
I would assume that we started at the back, but yeah.
I would try and drag him towards the edge of the crowd.
Okay, so you're able to pull. You all watch Velka backing up, looking over his shoulder, and you see Voda walking kind of like also alongside this robed and hatted individual as you pull them out of the crowd. Now back at the edge of the crowd, you have them in the open, and you're all kind of just like standing there eyeing them. They look kind of strange. They have you can see that they do have wings, the little fairy wings at their back, but they've got what looks to be just like a motley put together outfit thrown over them.
While they're being dragged, I'm berating them the whole way. Our performers work very hard for their acts. I do not think that your jeering is active to the atmosphere we are trying to portray.
In a voice, a strange soft voice comes out from beneath the hat and just says, "You don't understand what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make a little bit of chaos so that Witch and Light will at least acknowledge that why I'm here."
I glare even harder.
Are the rest of us close enough to hear
Yeah,
this?
you're all out there now.
Okay.
Do we recognize the voice?
Yes, you, Velka and
Yeah.
Voda recognize the voice. It is of the Candlefoot the Mime.
The mime should not be talking. Also, I love the fact that we're just like, this is the mime and we're the Frenchies.
It's the voice of Candlefoot the Mime. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you look at but Velka, Voda, you look at them. This isn't the height of Candlefoot. This isn't the build of Candlefoot. This isn't Candlefoot.
Disguise self or whatever.
Okay. Think we're going to need a better explanation than that.
But if you're gonna interrogate me, I'm willing to talk. Can we just go somewhere a little bit less in the open? I promise. To
Ooh,
then-
I'm suspicious of this.
They say, fine. You outnumber me. I don't want to. I'm not looking for any trouble. Sorry. Besides making the trouble that I was making. Here. They with a snap of their fingers, with these like glove fingers, you watch as the large cloak and the hat disappear, and beneath it, you see a black beak and beady eyes as a kinku looks out at you.
Is that what they? It's not what they normally look like, right?
Oh no.
Okay. Other trick?
Wait, Kenkus can't speak?
They can when I've taken a voice.
Elaborate?
So you're.
You stole someone's voice?
Only out of necessity. Please, I don't want to be talking out here in the open, please. Can we just over to that stall, that next to that food stall over there? They point over to a nearby stall that's selling some sort of apple treat.
Question. So Candlefoot the Mime is a human, right?
Yep.
And this is his voice.
Yep.
Have we heard him speak recently?
Nope.
His voice.
That would make sense. The mime would sell the voice. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I give a stomp on my foot. Why is everyone so insistent on ruining the carnival tonight?
I mean, why are you
Okay,
so worried? You just
you-
work here.
You brought up that you wanted to lure out Witch and Light, or you want what?
Please,
Come on.
not.
We're
Can we
very
just go
busy.
over? Just can we not in the middle of the walkway right here?
Oh, I
please.
assumed we were. I assumed we were walking.
There's something on. I can't move.
I just kind of glance at the Velka and
All right.
yeah.
You tether this kenku with you and pull them over
Yeah.
to basically kind of like behind these booths right here. You smell a lovely smell of like cookies baking. Kind of, it's hard to concentrate with this awesome smell of cookies that is like right here.
Excuse me. You also need to remember that there's the constant smell
Smell
of
of brownies. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The brownies and cookies, the smell of brownies and cookies fill the air as the kind of muffled sound of the song by the lake slowly kind of comes to a close, and you can see the crowd dispersing after the show is over. This Kenku sits down on the ground and just lets out a long sigh. I can tell that you're also not here just for the carnival. Normally you don't see many of the, well, you're a little bit different. You're not just city goers or townsfolk that have come in here. I can tell. And you two work here. I've seen you here before. He points at Voda and Velka. They point at Voda and Velka. My name is Kettlesteam. And I'm here to, well, something is wrong with my patron.
Mm-hmm.
And who is your patron?
My patron is Zyblina. They are an archfey of the ruler of Prismere, and I just recently I can't sense that I can sense that they're no longer there. I can't get in touch with her. It's
So you wanted to make a scene at the carnival to get Witch and Light?
I'm convinced through some research and some hearsay that Witch and Light, well, they know something about Prismere. They do. I know it. They keep giving me the cold shoulder though. They refuse to talk to me about it. So I know they know more than they're letting on. And so I was just trying to cause a ruckus tonight to maybe get them to pay attention. See that there's something that needs to be talked about.
And you did not think that taking the voice from one of the performers was enough, what is the word? Chaos, I suppose?
I took it from the mime. He doesn't talk.
Wait, just to be clear, did you take it?
When
did
he
you
says that,
buy it?
when they say that, I point at like, and I just like, yeah, he's got a point. Like I'm not saying anything, but I'm just like.
Assume if we
nodding.
recognize his voice, he talks outside of his performance, right?
He
At
does,
some
but it's
point.
something he does. But like
Could be a method actor.
he talks outside of his performance, but like not when the carnival is going. He's a mime.
Yeah, no, not when the carnival's going. I mean,
So
just
either
like,
maybe he lends it out then.
maybe, but is it?
But also, I just asked him if he stole or bought it.
It's I didn't buy it. No, I
Did you make a nefarious trade for it? Because that's the thing that I've heard happen
I just
around
heard
here.
Jamaican.
I used a little
make
bit
it great.
of the magic that I still have to create this. She takes out a little corn husk doll with a thorny little stem tied around its neck. The little Kenku holds it up and says, "Say hi
That's
to
creepy.
say hi to Candlefoot."
No.
Hello,
That's
Candlefoot.
creepy.
Yeah, that would explain why Candlefoot was so quiet in the last hands-on meeting.
Well, I think he's got some other stuff bothering him, but well, I did this earlier tonight.
Vono is just hard glaring. The
I
entire conversation.
lost. You what?
Look, I learned some stuff during my last visit here, and I tried to go a little bit harder this time to get Witch and Light to talk more about it. I snuck back into the staff area the last time I was here, listened outside of their wagon, where Witch and Light apparently like to just hang out during the actual majority of the carnival. Here, this is what they said. She clears her throat. Someone's going to find out about this. They'll shut us down. We agreed to this pact. Our hands were forced, but our eyes were open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what it wants, and in return, we stay in business. That is what you want, right?
The Zug is immediately like jumping up and down, listening to this.
You are a delightful addition to any investigation. Can you just repeat? Can you just do that?
Can you
Is that
just
that's
do
like
that?
what the king?
Wait to me!
This is delightful.
Wait to me!
Damn, that's good.
Damn, that's good!
Fuck, stop.
Fuck, stop!
Don't even think about it.
I'm just staring at him now.
Don't even think about it.
Nice.
So we recognize that as the voices of Witch.
Absolutely,
and Light,
you've
right?
heard them speak before. That is, that is Light and Witch's voice.
Oh, nice. It's like you could fingerprint the sound. You're confirming it for us.
At this point, I'm guessing compelled duel is gone.
Yeah. You see the Kenku visibly relax and just kind of sit down on the ground.
Yep.
They let out a exasperated sound that sounds exactly like a tea kettle going off.
Oh God.
I love Kenku.
What you say about Mr. Witch and Mr. Light?
Sorry, what was that? Beginning.
I think you need to watch what you say about Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
I don't know why you were so loyal to them when they obviously are hiding something big. This is huge. If they actually have made a pact with this hourglass coven, that's very important. Covens are bad.
Do you know anything about this coven?
No, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to get more information about it, but I can't get them.
Okay,
talk.
so question. What exactly was your plan to have to draw them out? When we were told that they've been a little bit, I don't know, down in the dumps lately, but you were just trying to incite what difficulties and hoping that what the supervisors of the carnival would come out.
Kettlestein looks over to Voda and actually says, "See, the bunny there, she's got a point. This whole carnival situation runs on, as the kids these days say, good vibes. And if the vibes are bad, then, well, I've seen it happen once or twice before when I was here investigating and looking into things. That's when Mr. Light gets really angry and gets pretty cross. And he actually goes out and, finds those individuals and gives them a little talking to, because no, Mr. Light's got to have the carnival be happy and joyful all the time. That's just his thing."
Sorry, I missed that. So is it Mr. Witch who's the one who's the head knocker, or is it Mr. Light who's the one who's going around busting skulls?
No,
or whatever?
Mr. Light is the not so much a head knocker, Kittlesteam explains, but more so very attuned to the mood of the carnival and what's going on. So Kittlesteam just says, "I was just gonna try to sour the mood, as it were, and I guess, figure out that would be a good way to get their attention. I don't know. I'm not a smart Kenku. I'm just trying to figure things out."
I mean, that strategy works a lot of MMOs, so I'm sure it's fine. I mean,
Turning to Velka and Volka. It's like, so when this has happened, when you all been working here, do they come out personally and make sure things happen, or does Light just send out the goons?
Usually, so Voda and Velka, usually when it happens, you've seen this happen once or twice before. The carnival, for the majority, is run like clockwork and is a delight for all those there. But recently, you've been seeing there has been once or twice nights where things kind of get a little bit sideways, and you can't really tell why. It's been getting a little bit worse recently, actually, now that you think about it. And when that does happen, it gets a little bit sour. One of the some of the muscle, or the muscle, as it were, Burley the Bugbear, gets sent out to to kindly ask the offending individuals to come with him. And usually that means that Witch and Light are going to have a little conversation with them. Nobody ever gets, hurt or anything like that, but it's more so just a stern talking to by by Light and Witch about what the carnival is here for, and to have a little bit bigger of a, see the bigger picture, etc. You just kind of get a scolding, a harsh scolding.
Yes, if any patron is causing undue distress, Burley will take them to have a bit of a conversation with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
I have a question.
Of course you do.
She is the inquisitive one.
I look I look over at Voda. I'm like, yeah. There's no
Remorse.
sour face or anything like that. It's just like,
That is a fact.
Luna is rather
It's
upset
just
at this
fact,
point.
yes.
Mhm.
We will get back to the party, the carnival. But I still have 7 punches on my ticket. I intend to use them. Miss, Miss, Kettlestein. Well, I kept wanting to say Mr. Miss, Miss,
You.
I know it's a little bit hard. I understand.
Kettlestein.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a creepy girl with a pig face?
They think for a moment. I've seen some strange things around the carnival, yes. But I've seen more than just that. There was, standing in the crowd, exactly what you said, little young girl, gray skin, holding a lollipop.
Yes, very large lollipop.
Yeah. Saw them, but then they just disappeared. I never saw them again. But kind of more troubling was that, well, when I was next to some of the river area that circles this place, I swore I saw what I thought was just the biggest freaking frog hop out of the water, but then it stood up on its hind legs and had these big, bulgy, buggy eyes, and it kind of started walking around, and it darted underneath the tent. And also I saw, man, this was weird. Saw this kid walking, and he passed by one of the big lit up entrances of one of the attractions.
Was it the shadow?
Yes, a shadow peeled off of his shadow and slithered underneath the boardwalk.
I look over at Voda. I'm like, you can't tell me this is not intriguing.
I just give a grunt in response.
We'll get to the where should we go next?
Look, I promise to stop causing trouble. If you are also looking into this as well, Kettlestein kind of looks around the group. It sounds like you are also looking into
We
this.
have a vested interest, yes.
Okay.
What do you know of the coven?
I don't know anything about it. I'm telling you the truth. I've just heard of it the last time I was here when Witch and Light talked about it in their wagon. I just know that I just want to know what they know about Zyblina, what they know about Prismir, and something's happened to Zyblina. I know it. I can't feel her powers anymore.
Just to be clear, is Prismir a place?
Yeah, yes, it's a place. It is... I've only heard of it because I've been barred from entering it as part of my pact with Zyblina. I can't go there, but it's a domain within the Feywild.
I also perk up to that. Oh!
Somebody who came from the Feywild and was actually well-traveled in the Feywild. Have I heard of Prismir?
You've heard of it in passing. You've never been there. There's a domain within the Feywild is kind of like a demi-plane, or a contained a little area, its own little nation within the Feywild. Yeah, you've heard of it. Never been there.
Also,
I'm same.
Yep, same.
You said pact. You make some sort of deal?
a deal to get the powers that I have. I'm a warlock by trade.
Neat.
Okay, well, I am actually, and I look again over at Voda, interested in continuing to explore the carnival and what it has to offer because every experience that we've had thus far has contributed further into this investigation. So, Voda, where would you like to take us next? As our unofficial official tour guide.
Kind of look around the group cautiously.
No food.
And I'm 100% sincere. Like, yes, let's move on to the next thing. Whatever you want to do. Like, I'm down to get a hole punch in my ticket. Because
And I'm looking at Voda
this is
with
fun.
very enthusiastic and excited eyes.
So there's genuine excitement to continue exploring the carnival. As long Candlestick, if you'd like to join.
I think I'll stick to what I do best, and I promise I'm not going to make any more ruckus. And you know what? As a sign of goodwill, here, just take this. Do what you want with it. And she hands over the corn husk doll.
Can we put it in fire? I'm very
No,
bothered by
that
this.
probably would not be good. If
What does it do?
I assume that it is tied to the well-being of candles. Oh wait, shit. Candles? Is it candlestick?
Candlefoot.
Candlefoot. To the well-being of Candlefoot.
Yeah, you can. You just need to destroy it in any way you want to. That's all it takes.
So fire.
Insight.
Perfect.
Insight.
Sure.
Want to make sure that he's not trying to get us to clean up his evidence for him, or clean up her evidence for her. I don't know.
It's a girl. I mean, Kenkus are always strange.
I would say female Kenku presenting as male. Where have we heard that before?
Time is a flat circle.
It is truly. Fuck. What was insight? Right. I'm not good at these. That's a 12.
They can see. She can see you staring at her, and she's like, no, you can destroy it, or the simpler way is just. Do you want to do it? Just untie the stem.
Can I burn it?
Burn it afterwards. It'll have no power.
Untie the stem.
Okay, you untie the stem. There, it's done.
Just a body of candle.
Oh, actually, no. As you untie the stem, you hear just another voice come out of Kettle Steam. It is done.
Yeah, I was gonna say now they can only speak Kenku, which is everything they've heard.
Yep, I would. If hearing them drop the voice, hearing her drop the voice, I would not detect magic then.
Okay.
In place, I will create a bonfire. I'm gonna burn the.
Immediately, Voda starts to freak out. Not next to the tent.
But that's okay. I'm very good with this.
I tighten it. The flame tightens to much like a very narrow. It's like a very small flame.
Turns
just
into
on top of it.
butane torch. Create butane.
Oh shit! Butane's the bastard gas.
Can we mend that?
No.
So you burn the corn husk doll.
Yeah, I guess because they said to destroy it, and I'm just following along.
It's also creepy.
So the corn husk doll gets turned into ashes immediately as it hits the bonfire. The sparks float up into the sky, mixing with the other kind of fairy dust that's passing through the air, and then gets blown away as one of those giant dragonflies flies through it and just.
Yeah, and I'll cancel the flame so it goes away as soon as it's done.
The Kenku nods, Kettle Steam nods, and she says, "Thank you. Very good."
No. Help me. Okay.
So where?
I'm looking. Sorry, I was trying to decide if I wanted to say something completely off the wall, just so the Kenku would have something really weird to say.
I was literally thinking that. Like, what words would
What-
you need?
As a parting gift, yeah.
Wait. I know what it is. I have 2 hands.
I have 2 hands. And then
Perfect.
Kelstein gets up, gives a curtsy, says,
Bye.
God damn it.
Should have known.
Oh, that was so good.
That was.
They've been blindsided so hard by something so obvious.
From where I'm sitting, I can see his screen too, and I
and
had
then
no idea.
and then she immediately dashes off into the crowd.
Oh, I fucking love
This
Kenkus.
character is gonna be a Kenku, and he's not gonna say a goddamn word.
All right. Well, you see Kettlesteam walk off into the crowd, give you a little wave, and melts back in with the movement of people throughout the carnival. Everybody looks to you, Voda. Where to next? What's the next attraction you'd want everybody to go to as the clock ticks forward through the night?
Where were we?
You're literally right where I.
So we're still near the lake, just behind the
Got
cookie
it.
baking area. Was it
Yeah,
cookie
you step
baking,
out.
or-
You step out there, and you see there's a Witchlight hand who's kind of busking in front of it. It's just like, fresh cookies! Get your fresh cookies! 1 ticket punch for a fresh cookie.
Still right there, sugar.
No.
Maybe not right now.
And you, Zug, you immediately look inside, or you look at this, and you're immediately drawn to this booth because as you see it, there's a sign that says "Fresh Euphorio Cookies," and you can see piled up on the, just like on the ledge there, getting ready to be sold, saucer-sized cookies. And as you kind of look and eye what's going on behind in the booth in the preparation area, you see a fairy dragon.
My eyes go wide looking at the cookie, then seeing the fairy dragon. They're just straight up like, I don't know, anime-sized dishes of eyes right now.
Yeah, you watch as one of the Witchlight hands with a chef's head on takes a cookie fresh from a magical oven and places it beneath the fairy dragon, who shakes vigorously as dust from the fairy dragon falls upon the cookie, and then the cookie's brought up to the front area. And you notice that all of these cookies are dusted with, looks to have this kind of shimmering dust all over them.
Immediately, I go, ah! I run after it. I run up to
I
the-
want one.
1 ticket, please.
I'm jumping up and down so I can reach it, and I just slap down a ticket. And I'll
Yeah,
look
your
at the.
ticket-
Is the fairy dragon kind of in the back, being like?
Yeah, the fairy
special
dragon
spice
looks
or
like
something?
yeah. The fairy dragon's like kind of a little bit further back. As you jump up and down, the camera just looks to like from the inside of the booth, and you could just see Zug's head just going like woo, 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 just like right above the countertop.
I can fly.
Yeah, you can look and you can see that the fairy dragon is like the equivalent of like Line Cook the fairy dragon.
Okay, as I'm jumping up and down, even before I get the cookie, I put the ticket down. I'm jumping up and down. With each pass, I'm gonna yell out in Draconic, "Hey, you! Do I know you? Hey, 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 hey!" Just like
Alan,
jumping up and down.
Al.
The fairy dragon within the
It's not
booth.
Alice, Steve. Steve.
The fairy
Steve.
dragon within the booth kind of like cocks its head, looks over in your direction, and looks kind of like tired. Puts on a grin. What's going on out there? Oh, what the heck? Who's that thing? What the?
As I stop jumping, and I kind of pull myself up on top of the counter now, so I can like sit up on top.
Hey,
Look at
hey, what's up, little kobold guy? How are you doing?
Do you visit me in my dreams?
What?
Is that a pickup line?
Hey, I'm working here right now, but pretty good, kobold kid. No, I don't. Sorry, I just work here.
I'll take a closer look, and now that my excitement's simmered down, do I recognize the patterned scales, whatever, on the
No.
fairy dragon?
You'd recognize that there's arcane tattoos all over this fairy dragon. They literally are just like the back of house chef fairy dragon that's just like, yeah, your eyes go wide and you're like, oh no, that's not my
Like I jump up.
I'm on the shift and high as shit.
Sorry, my bad. I'll take a cookie though. Bye. I grab the cookie and I jump down.
Those who
and I
want
scamper back
cookies,
to the group.
1 punch off of your 8 punches on your ticket for that.
Yeah, so
So
I'm not gonna
think
eat it
if
because I'm still fucking full as hell, but I'll add it.
Was I present for the conversation?
I'm not exactly being. I'm not being quiet at all.
Oh yeah, I don't think. I think everything by default from Zug is 11.
It's loud. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I think-
Velka, good.
Oh, I was gonna just really quickly. I was gonna say I think I wanted a cookie, but then after kind of hearing that conversation, I'm just like, oh, and I'm much less impressed by the fairy dragon, and because I was really like enamored by it, and now I'm just like, no, I'm good. Never mind.
All right, so Zug.
Velka will get a cookie.
I actually think you said it's a very large cookie, right?
Oh yeah, it's the size of a saucer.
I strap it between my shield and my back
Okay, nice.
just to save it for later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pocket bacon equivalent.
Yep.
But back
It's
cookie.
Fairy dragon cookie. Yep.
All right. Velka, you get a cookie as well. Mark off 1 punch from your
Pocket
ticket.
cookie. Yeah, one cookie, which will be given to Voda.
Okay. Voda, you get a cookie. And as you leave this area, Voda, where are you taking the party? Where are you guys going?
Well, seeing as we haven't done a ride yet, I'm assuming the siren, the mermaid show is over.
Yes, that ended as you were talking with Kettlesteam. So if you're looking for rides, you know that there are the gondola swans, there's the dragonfly rides, there's the bubble pop teapot, the mystery mine, and yeah, those are the rides. Those are the activities. The Hall of Illusions is like a strange kind of like mirror house type of thing.
Since we're here, I would in the group to the swan.
Okay, so you head off to the gondola swans.
Whee! So I just as like falling, I was like, "Yay! Fun time, new friends. Let's go."
Yeah, with everybody getting in the mood, you head in that direction, passing by where the now empty, pearl or oyster on the lake. It seems that Palasha has gone elsewhere. As you get to the gondola swans, you see an enormous swans gliding through the water here, pulling ornate wooden gondolas draped in flowers. The swans disappear into banks of silver mists as they wend their way down the river, and a jetty extends ahead, at the end of which a waiting swan preens its feathers. We'll pick up there as you walk down the jetty towards this swan as go for a quick ride on it. Everybody go grab a drink, walk your dogs. I'll be back in 5-ish minutes, but we'll have more fun times ahead.
What number of minutes was that?
5-ish.
I heard mish mish.
Fish in fish minutes. All right, be right back, everybody. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. 5 minutes. Crickets.
Yep. Sometimes it be like it do. Wait, they
Give a-
stop?
We have a friend in who's in Turkey right now. He just sent a picture of what the Doritos flavor name is for nacho cheese. Was it called nacho flavor? Why can't I remember what the Doritos flavor
You're
is?
talking about like what I would consider default Doritos, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like nacho. Yeah, I think it's nacho cheese
Why does that sound wrong?
because it's just usually just red Doritos. I don't know. I usually get the spicy Doritos, spicy nacho, which are objectively the best Dorito flavor.
Called nacho. Turkey is called hot corn. Hot corn.
Not to get too geopolitical, but speaking of Turkey, Erdogan made a very bold statement about the nature of Crimea's provenance, which is very surprising because of what he's also been doing regarding certain other states joining NATO. And I was reading about like this sort of like whiplash, geopolitical whiplash, and someone had the best thing was like, yeah, when it comes, if you consider the world as a game of Risk, Turkey's just the wild card in like everything. You're never quite sure what they're going to do.
Interesting.
There's kind of a long history for that too. And it makes sense based on their cultural history as well, being as a crossroads. Also high on my list of places to visit someday. When it's not Erdogan in power, but
Yay.
Yeet.
the music. Oh, I have to go Thursday to get travel vaccines. So that's gonna be fun.
Oh, all the fun, everything.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep. Luckily, I don't need too many. And apparently, typhoid now can be taken as a pill instead of a shot, and it lasts longer if you take it as a pill.
Huh.
So that's good. But my arm is gonna be pretty sore, I think.
Butts.
Also, speaking of sore muscles, I gotta keep working out harder now.
Yeah, weird.
I gotta stay ahead of the CEO. That's
Earn those spot bonuses, boyo.
honestly, well, first off, he's actually ridiculously good in terms of his body weight ratio. Like he's got a coach, he competes, does all that stuff. But I'm also just bigger, so I can lift more. But my body weight ratio is less. So now I have perverse incentive. Well, it's not even perverse incentive. I just have a stronger incentive to actually push to my goals instead of just sort of like, I'll lift this thing for now.
I dig it.
And I also was able to find 3 weightlifting coaches in the area who are registered with the U.S. Powerlifting Association. So I may start actively pushing
Oh, cool.
towards goals. Because my goals are going higher now. I need to lift 600 pounds. 500 is not enough.
Why?
Because 600 would put me at a 3 to 1 body weight ratio on deadlift.
Oh,
So that would put me in the elite category. As long as I don't hurt myself. That's the only thing.
that's the important bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hence the coach helps there.
Yes.
I took a puck off the inside of my elbow like 2 nights
Oh.
ago. It's just like normally it'd be fine because you got this like borderline like adult-preen version of medieval armor on for a chest protector, but like it got just in like the weird place where
Soft spot.
it hit that. Yeah, and, like it went off of my stick first, so my
Like a weird
hand kind of like
bounce.
got rattled a little bit. It was like kind of tweaked at a weird angle. I was like, oh, that feels good. It's not bruised, but it's one of those like, what did I do? Oh, right. Oh.
And
Pucks are
updating
scary.
guys on my most recent fuckery with my what is it called? My shoulder.
Oh. What's the latest?
What is the fuckery?
Since our trip, because I've been going to the Cairo for a while, but since our trip, whatever we've been doing like has not felt like it's been working, and now my body is deciding to compensate for itself, and so like I have like this huge knot in my right side of my neck. It's like keeping like keeping company to my left shoulder. But now it's like clicking instead of
Oh.
popping, and so I'm like, well, that's weird.
That's not
So-
necessarily bad, but it's
not normal
Yeah.
for me. Like at this point, like that scar tissue buildup and all of that stuff, like it's kind of normal. But
I still have clicking to my left shoulder from archery. That never goes away now.
I've got
yeah, like I've had like
ankles.
Oof.
Sorry.
no, but I've had like the popping for a while, but it's like, yeah, it's a click now, which is new.
Okay, so it's
depending.
It's a
And
new noise, which is weird.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it-
a
is
new
it-
noise, and it started after our travel, and it's been
Is it like
accompanied by,
a sorry? Is it like a multi-click where like you move? It's like, or is it more like you move it and it goes click, like once or twice, as like within that range of motion?
no, so like range of motion when I'm at the top, like say I'm lifting my arm side, like it's to my
Oh, yeah,
side,
like
and
a
I'm lifting
raise,
it
like
like
an arm raise
straight
up?
up.
Mm-hmm.
But like all the way out to the side, like 90 degrees, and then like
Mhm.
raising up, right?
Yeah.
Like climbing. And so it's like before, like that might have like when I adjust my shoulder. Porkins, you remember when you guys visited and it's like that like crunchy sound?
It's been over a year, so honestly, no. But it,
But yeah, there's basically like a crunch in my shoulder.
okay.
Like it goes like kind of,
Is it for the whole range of
But-
motion or within a particular range of motion?
no, in a specific range of motion.
Is it when your arm's 90 degrees out to your left?
No.
Or like right or whatever?
No.
What's
No, so now like that's just kind of like I do a shoulder roll, you know? And like my left shoulder will just have like
Hmm.
like crunchy, you know. When I would raise my arm out, it would like kind of pop, like there's something like like your knees pop or something, you know? Like it's kind of like pops into place, like feels good, or it's kind of that extension that like you know, something's a little tight and it kind of like pop and it's like that release.
So that's
Now I don't
usually
get the pop, I get a click.
oh, it's like the pop. The way you describe it is usually a tendon
Yeah, and that piece of it, like it's kind of like it's associated, but it's like it feels good, and like I'll want to. It's like cracking your knuckles, right? Like
But now
it's
it's like a continuous
but now it's
clicking.
now it's when I get to
Extra
that range of
crunchy.
motion, it won't pop anymore. So I like want to pop it, but I like can't. It's like cracking my knuckle. Like I have that feeling like I want to crack my knuckle, but I can't. And then when I get past a certain range, it'll click like everything in the bone is gone, and it's just bone on bone.
But if it's bone on bone, you would have a lot of pain there. But
Yeah.
it's
Well, but that's the thing. I'm having a lot more pain.
so that could be
And
a cartilage.
I
That could be a
can't
cartilage thing.
climb right now. And then like I'm getting like burning sensations, and then I'm getting
that's
that-
not a chiropractor thing. That's a
no, I
orthopedics
know.
thing. That
I know it's not. So I
yeah.
have an appointment with my doctor tomorrow.
Oof.
After
Okay.
a
To get a
couple
MRI?
weeks to
Yeah,
try to
that's-
get a referral for an MRI.
I hope for the best on that, because that if it's not too bad, that's fixable with rest and anti-inflammatory stuff. But if it's bad, that can just take some
Surgery.
It could
I
take
mean,
a
it could
surgery
be
at the worst
surgery or, like
case.
cortisone or ultra.
Yeah.
Like my
Yeah, there's
chiropractor
things.
started doing like ultrasound therapy, but ultrasound it's going to take a really long time just because it takes
Right.
so long. But if
Yeah,
it's
it's
if
incremental.
it's any like
improvements.
scar tissue, cartilage, anything like that build up, like it's fixable. It's just yeah. But
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're doing the right things on it, so.
Well, let's get back into it. I think we got
Yeet.
everybody back here. So, the party returns and is now walking down the plank towards a swan that is sitting there holding a ornate wooden gondola. You do see there is a Witchlight hand at the end of the jetty who like holds some ropes that are holding a gangplank toward the swan there. And he just looks at you all and says, "One ticket for a ride on the gondola, swans." There's enough room on this gondola for everybody. It's fairly large.
Okay, here's the ticket.
What is the secret to getting the most out of this ride?
The Witchlight hand looks at you, looks at Velka, looks at Voda, and is like, "Well, you got Featherine, but you're gonna have a good time regardless."
Featherine?
"Hello," says the swan as it bends its giant neck to look back at you. "Oh, look at this little rat thing that is on my gondola. How quaint."
I have my spear out. I'm like, ah! The fuck?
No, there's no need for you to be aggressive. Please, let the others board and we shall be on our way.
Sorry, you scared me. I've never.
I was actually going to ask if it talks to you and tells you something, but this is quite what I meant. But perfect.
I
Are we
put the spear
familiar
away.
with Featherine? Are we on friendly
Featherine,
terms?
yes, Featherine is pretty notorious. She's one of the more outspoken swans of the fleet.
Door open. Or with the dog in there.
Have we had any like interesting philosophical conversations with Featherine?
I would say, yeah. That's kind of her bag, actually.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
There's a certain song that's not to be broken out here eventually.
A pleasure as always, Featherine.
Oh, hello, Velka. I'm assuming you're off work tonight. Oh, and there's Voda as well. Lovely to see you, my dear. All aboard, all aboard. We don't have much time. I want to get going.
Away we go.
All right,
I
everybody.
have my arms crossed. I'm like, fucking rat thing. Call me fucking rat.
So as the
Neon
gangplank is
back?
pulled away, you
Neon-
hear kind of like a splot, 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 splot from beneath as Featherine's feet start to paddle, and you're pulled off the dock and into and off into the mist. As you kind of make your way around what is this lazy river that surrounds the carnival, making your way clockwise around it. You just kind of get a nice view of all the different areas of the carnival. You see the dragonfly riders buzzing overhead. You see the twinkling lights through the mist in the distance. Hear the sounds of the calliope and other music drifting through the air, lighting on your ears. And you smell that wonderful smell of baked goods, brownies. And then you look over and you realize that's just Rosin, as she's just kind of sitting there smiling in the thing. I'm sorry, my little friend. That was quite rude of me. What are you?
Who are you?
Have you never seen a kobold before?
Oh, a kobold. How interesting. Those who are infatuated with the dragons, aren't you? Interesting indeed.
It's not infatuation, it's just a thing.
Call it what you will. Onward. You drift through the water. Somebody's
Is this
going to ask
going
something
around?
about... Yeah.
Yeah. Is this going? I'm looking at the map. Is this winding river that goes
Yep.
around the
It's
entire
like a lazy
perimeter?
river, and as you can look, you can see little
Okay.
swans in there. Plup, plup, plup. You pass through some of the mist and emerge as you wind your way around these giant lily pads that are being landed upon by the giant dragonflies. And Featherine cranes her neck over, looks back at you all as you drift through. What is joy?
I looked to everyone else. If this is a real question or not.
Voda's
What?
just giving a happy smile.
Is joy?
A 3-letter word.
How literal. But what is it?
We've had this conversation with
You maybe have had a similar
before.
conversation. She doesn't ask the same questions every time. She has a lot of questions. What is joy, my turtle friend?
Joy is just a state of being. It's something that can be shared, but it can't be explained, rather merely experienced.
So you cannot touch joy.
Not in the way that I assume you're intending Joy, and it's not like a person
Without
named Joy.
consent.
Well, I have a niece named Joy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
No, I'm talking about the feeling.
Yeah, I'm saying you can't touch it, can't taste it, you can only experience it.
Indeed. She nods her head thoughtfully as you paddle onwards. You snake your way through some more winds and bends of the river, casually just moving forward, and then she turns her head around again. How do I know you exist?
You don't.
Well, I
Wait, and this is
So-
Ride Philosophy 101. Shit.
I tend to have ideas, and I think, therefore, I am.
Yes, but that is not what Featherine was asking.
What Featherine's asking is whether we exist or not, but that doesn't matter because the interaction with us is a series of inputs and outputs, and therefore you get an output from us, which for you means we exist regardless of whether we physically exist in this place at this moment in time. So yes, to you we exist.
Wait, she
Wow.
wasn't asking what.
Both
Can
of
you
your
repeat your
answers
question?
impress me. One, for your simplicity, my fairy friend, and two, for your complexity, my kobold brother. Goodness gracious, this is great debate.
Wait, we're debating?
Insight.
Masterfully.
I tend to just ponder. I am more philosophical than I am debating, you are right. And one more question. I think this one goes to my bird friend here, Mr. Velka. In a world so full of magic, is time an illusion?
Time is not necessarily an illusion, but rather a thread, one which can be tugged and pulled and twisted.
What type of thread? Is it yarn? Is it fishing wire? Is it
I
rope?
imagine it is fishing wire, is hard to see and very strong.
Ah, indeed. This is some of the most educating and insightful conversation I've had all night. Everybody else
Can I
just
insight check that?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody else just stares back at me when I ask them these questions like I'm some freak. Oh yeah, it's very, very much. She's impressed beyond bounds.
I just showed her I can pull my thumb off my hand quick.
So, why are you here tonight to enjoy the carnival? Is it just on a whim? Or did you hear about it somewhere? Or, I don't know, you here for your own purposes? I'm always curious.
I'm here because on my night off, my sister wished to come back.
It's always nice to experience it from the other side. I sometimes wish I could do that as well, but I am a giant swan. We don't get breaks. We really should unionize.
I mean, do they at least let you, do the custard eating contest? Being a giant swan, you could probably eat a lot of custard.
No, we're barred from that. One of us entered once, and it was a slaughter.
Voda just shivers.
Shits.
Voda just shivers and is like, it was an awful night.
Ah, yes. The Great Custard Massacre. They had to postpone the competition for all the nights afterwards after we ate all of the cupcakes. Quite impressive.
There was a few tables missing too.
Yes, it got rowdy. They do allow us to go on breaks, though, but we don't get days off, being part of the attractions, as it is. But it's unusual to see a little kobold here, as well as a fairy. You're far from the Feywild, aren't you, my girl?
What's my name? Rosen. I was like, what's her name? Rosen was kind of enjoying her time because she really loves the inquisitive nature, and she was about to ask Featherine another question. Featherine? Was it Featherine?
Yeah, Featherine.
She's about to ask Featherine another question, but she said, but that question was directed at her, and she went wide-eyed and kind of froze, and then kind of looked down and is very uncharacteristically non-responsive and quiet now.
Well, if you're at all curious about what goes on here at the carnival, I hear so much from all of my riders and some of the staff. Ooh, I have so much juicy gossip to share. And, since you impressed me with your philosophical banter, I am willing to share some of my secrets with you.
Go on.
Well, I saw Candlefoot. He tried to make a disastrous attempt at proposing to Palasha the mermaid. He was about to declare his love for her in front of everybody. But then the words left him with a gasp. He couldn't talk. At the most important moment, he couldn't ask her the question. He hasn't spoken a word since.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Palasha was very upset.
What opportune timing for that to happen.
I hope he gets a second chance. They're very cute, the two of them.
I think that they probably will have another chance.
Ooh. Also, being one of a philosophical mindset, I do enjoy having late night debates with Mr. Burley the Bugbear. He is, for his size and, his outward...
Disposition?
Yes, his disposition, quite philosophical. He does... he has such a profound mind, and it's simply wasted in guarding the staff wagons. He misses his brother tremendously. As you know, Velka and Voda, his brother disappeared some time ago, but Hurley never really fit in.
Hurley?
Hurley and Burley.
Yes, Hurley and Burley, they were brothers. Our brothers. I still hope Hurley is okay somewhere.
Yeah. A lot of people who work here seem to have lost something, no?
Seems so unusual. Things have gotten strange recently. Indeed, indeed.
When you say recently, you mean like in the past couple shows? 'Cause I mean, like from the outside, it kind of all looks the same, honestly.
Yes, it seems like the last couple shows or weeks or nights. It's hard to tell sometimes. Things get a little bit blurry. But there's been some nights where the mood has soured. There's been some nights where strange things seem to be hiding in shadows that I see out of the corner of my eye as I make my passes in the water. A little bit disturbing. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light seem to think nothing of it, though. They say the show goes on.
Just how long has this been going on for? If you could pin a beginning to this whole thing.
Oh, it's hard to say. Years and years and years ago.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, like 5, 10, 100?
Oh,
2?
many, many years ago. Probably more than 10 or so. Maybe 20? I don't know.
The less you observe time, the more entangled it becomes.
Ah, another philosophical statement. I love it, Velka. We are nearing our final destination. Your trip is almost... Oh, what is that? She cranes her neck over as you kind of approach back near the thing. What were you going to say, Zug?
I was going to pose a philosophical question for... what was the name of the...
Featherine.
Featherine. I was going to do that. But I can wait if something's about to happen.
Well, she cranes her neck and looks over, and you can see that at the end of the dock, Candlefoot the Mime is on one knee as he holds out a ring in a box towards Palasha, who has kind of pulled herself halfway up and out of the water onto the end of the dock. And you can see him talking to her, and you can see her joyously smile as she wraps her arms around him. And there's a cheer that rises up from the shore from like a group of like Witchlight hands and a group of onlookers as well who kind of noticed it. Voda prestidigitates some fireworks and stuff from the back of the gondola as you pass by the scene, giving like... And as you do that as well, you suddenly all like notice, you look back towards the carnival, and suddenly all the lights, you can hear like cheers and happiness, and all the lights that are hanging between the stalls and in the air suddenly surge with a renowned energy. You almost hear the music get louder and more joyous as it seems that the carnival just like gets a little bit brighter. The mood of the carnival seems to have increased a little bit.
Huh.
Oh,
I think we did good burning that thing.
So the question is this like the moment that we've all the Witchlight hands have been waiting for in the soap opera? Is that like the vibe?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So that probably will actually like bring a smile to Velka's face.
Yeah, you've all known about this for sure.
And I'm guessing Voda probably is all jumpy clappy.
Yeah.
Tears and eyes.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, Yeah, you watch as there's like all the colors appear brighter along the shore. The plants begin, like the flowers and the plants bloom around, and in the air suddenly there's just a swath of shooting stars, shoo, 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 as they pass overhead. Featherine pulls up next to the gondola docks. Ooh, move that. Pulls up next to the gondola docks. Well, this is the final stop. Thank you for the lovely conversation. It was quite enlightening. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening here at the Witchlight Carnival. Ta-ta! Ta-ta!
Wait.
Goodbye! What?
I have one to leave you with.
Yes?
Imagine, you will, a swan boat that has to transverse a certain distance. But it can only cover half that distance at any given time. Will this swan boat ever make it back to dock?
I lost you at Swan Boat because I'm a swan, not a boat. Good day, my good kobold.
Wait, I have another question. I have
Fucking
another one.
technicality.
If two swan gondolas leave the dock at the same time, going.
Enough of these mathematical questions. I have more riders to take. Good night, good evening, and goodbye, my friends. Ta-ta, ta-ta, goodbye.
I wasn't mathematical. That was actually the nature of duality of existence. But okay.
Take care and don't get lost.
Hard to get lost on the lazy river.
Wow. I just saw hedonism bot in that one.
Oh god, hedonism boat bot.
Yes, hedonism bot.
Ooh, paddle me.
As you make your way back to the shore, there's another loudspeaker announcement in the voice. Hello, one and all! Well, we've heard the good news that Palasha has accepted the proposal of Candlefoot. There's like applause that rings out across the entire fairgrounds, across the carnival. So lovely. True love, it's beautiful. But up next, we have more sights and sounds for you all to see. Please, come to the big top as the extravaganza at midnight commences. Quickly, find your seats for a wonderful show.
I look to the window of siblings.
Is this a good one? Should we go to see this one?
Just the main event.
I'm sold! Whee!
I'll just take off.
Yes, this is one of the highlight events of the evening. Kind of middle of the night extravaganza. Performances and shows go on throughout the night in the big top. There's, acrobatic acts, clown acts, magic acts, all kinds of stuff like that. But at midnight, the big top fills up as all of you arrive in there. So, let's go to the big top. Do you all go there?
Oh, hell yes. My top is so big right now.
I just sprinted ahead of everybody, but I would have waited at the entrance if I was ahead of you guys. Can't leave my new friends.
Bouncing like a gremlin.
Yeah, I can't leave my new friends behind. That would be rude.
All right, you file in, finding yourselves seats here in the big top.
This was a ticket or no ticket?
No, this is just an event that is. This is one of those like free events for all type of things.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Do we try to find seats, or we just how's it?
Yeah.
We'll
You're gonna have
see
to definitely find seats.
Okay.
So what do you do?
I vote for front row, so I'm like pointing towards like bottom. I'm assuming like bleacher styles. I'm like at the bottom, pointing over there, jumping up and down. But
I don't know if it'd be kind of like you go into like your big class, like a large lecture class, and you don't want to sit in the front row, but you still want to pay attention. So you take the second row, even if the whole front row is empty. That's where I would want to sit.
I think I can help you with that. And then I step back, take the big painting brush, then kind of like from ground, which a ink puddle starts to form, I swish upwards and I cast invisibility.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Voda, you're such a charm.
On
Kiwi?
Kiwi.
oh.
So he's not blocking the patrons.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thoughtful.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be rude and getting in the way.
So you file in, find seats in the front as you kind of push your way to the front, and suddenly the lights dim and a hush falls over the crowd. Second later, you see a spotlight illuminate the center of the room. A lithe elven figure is highlighted in the middle of that spotlight, sitting in a silver hoop suspended above the center of the ring on silky ropes. He lays back on it, hanging in the air. The elf wears a dazzling suit of diamond pane mirrors and a pair of butterfly wings. His scepter is topped with a spinning butterfly vane. Welcome, one and all, to this evening's extravaganza. I am Mr. Light. Prepare to be delighted.
I
Voda
lean over.
cheers loudly.
Does he make that as a pun?
The music says yes.
I love it.
So, you watch as he drops to the ground, and Mr. Light is absolutely on parade right now. He is, as the light reflects off of him, he is a walking disco ball.
That's awesome.
This is the guy.
So it's like diamond mirrors?
Yep.
Like where the... Wow.
So, he bows, and he says, "Welcome to the stage, none other than our fair's mighty muscle, Burly the Bugbear." And you watch as Burly rises from the ground. You see this bugbear with a pumpkin helmet on his head as he bounds around the center of the ring, performing feats of strength, lifting heavy objects, putting them back down, and doing things like handstands. Two Witchlight hands dressed up in beautiful colors walk over to him. Each of them hang off of his arms as he spins them around the air, throws them across the room. The crowd cheers as they see his massive muscles bulge, and he smiles underneath the gigantic pumpkin head. And he's loving it. You can hear as the crowd cheers high for his, cheers loudly for all of his actions. He smiles. And he is an adorable, muscly, philosophical man.
Oh, that is a big lad.
Yep.
That is a man.
He's got a squirrel.
No fashion.
As the crowd
already.
cheers as his performance ends, you hear Master Light say, "Well, if you are happy with these feats of strength, now be absolutely amazed by the wonderful voice of a siren. If you didn't catch her performance earlier, you can catch it now. Welcome, Palasha the Mermaid." And you watch as a clam-shaped, as a clamshell bathing pool is pulled across on this tightrope across the thing into the center of the room as spotlights boom, 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 light up this beautiful clamshell as Palasha rises from it, more beautiful and more confident than she ever was in the lake performance. A glow about her as she smiles and beams to the audience and immediately starts performing a new song that you haven't heard before. The water and the water in the pond dances around her, spinning around the big top, forming shapes of things like whales and dolphins, manta rays and jellyfish. You can see there's kids in the front row. They're jumping up and down trying to touch these things.
Shit, so is Zug.
All right, yeah. Zug's just like, woo! Yeah, there she
So
is.
is Voda.
There's Palasha in her bowl. As the song dies down, you notice as the song plays, you also you can see flitting and dancing throughout the audience, cartwheeling and kind of playing with some of the kids and the audience members, you see Candlefoot. Now a giant smile on his face, more energy and everything to him. This individual, Mr. Candlefoot, has an interesting kind of hue to him. He actually does look like the color of his skin has been drained.
Huh.
And his clothes. It's strange.
His clothes have been drained.
It also looks like he's
everything
about to
about
drop
him.
some rap
He's
battle.
pale. He's pale. Like it looks
Color.
like it's a like
No, he's basically a desaturated individual.
yeah.
It's something that you notice. It's very easy to see as the kind of spotlight follows him around the audience. As he like holds onto somebody's hand, you watch briefly as kind of the color slightly drains from their hands, just for the moment, and then goes back as he lets go of them.
Neat.
Zug, to your amusement and probably to your delight, you watch as suddenly streamers are being pulled through the air, flying at the backs of little fairy dragons. One of them you recognize as the chef from the Euphoria cookie, Euphorio
Nice.
stall, as he's just like, ah, shit, here we go. Oh, he takes a drag from a cigarette off the, like, in the side, like, yeah, let's go, all right. Woohoo! All right, yeah, kids, let's go.
I was like,
all the other fairy dragons are like doing loops and shit.
Yeah.
He's just flying in a straight line straight
Oh.
across.
Wait, who said-
Okay, let me just do my job. Holy shit.
Velka's next to me, so I'm definitely reaching out and pulling on your sleeve. Like, oh my god, look! I'm like just pointing at them, going.
Yeah, you see across, and now at this point, it's an all-out just kind of major performance as you see, synchronized flying as acrobats leap across the top here. You can see clowns doing tricks, doing like slapstick routines on the side, falling down into the dust. There's a little car that comes like driving out from the side. As like 10 clown gnomes just suddenly just like fucking fall out of this tiny clown car. Just all the typical stuff that you would see in a big top. There's immediate like a scream and a scream of excitement as you watch a tiefling blow fire out into the audience as well, and then it turns into a cloud of like dazzling neon smoke that just rains down sparkles on top of all of the people. Is beautiful.
That's awesome.
Zed Yippee.
As everything starts to kind of calm down here, you see the music starts to kind of lull, and Mr. Light stands in the center, the lights fixating upon him, his sparkling outfit dazzling the ceiling of the tent, dancing with the reflecting of his disco ball, his disco outfit. He's doing disco. He calls out, "If there's anybody, any guests that would love to grace the stage with a performance tonight, this is the time. Would you like to wow the crowd, perform an act, become a star of the show? Please, step up, step up, step up!" He gestures wildly to the audience.
Photo. Turn it
Voda
off.
is frozen.
Voda, turn off the invisibility, Voda. I want to go.
I just pour paint thinner on you.
Kiwi would uncharacteristically seem very excited, stand up, jump up and down with his hand in the air like a 4-year-old who knows the answer to the question the teacher just asked.
You there!
Eh? Oh.
Mr. Turtle! Oh, wait,
Me.
I've seen you around. Yes,
Yeah.
come to the center, come.
Yeah,
A
okay,
bunch of
okay.
Witchlight hands kind of help you down into the center of the ring.
I
Okay.
slap a druid crafted flower on your hat as you leave.
Okay, George, where do I stand? Where are my cue marks?
What's your name, my turtle friend?
It's Kiwi.
It's that moment where like he like puts over his like Witchlight vein, this like thing that he has next to you, and then you hear that like the Kiwi. As they, like, all right, Master Kiwi. Now, what do you do? What are you going to perform for us?
I I'm gonna pull out my magical saxophone. I'm gonna play a song.
Ooh, a saxophone. Lovely. Let's see it.
And then Kiwi will play his version of Tequila.
All right, give me a performance check, please.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah, it's good.
Just
The
goes
crowd,
to the very end
the
and
crowd has
very end.
never heard Tequila played this way before, with so much skill, so much chutzpah, and so much conviction. Just both of those things being the same thing. You just rock it as everybody kind of gets up, and there's a resounding. And then you put your hand up to your ear, and the entire crowd rings out in unison, "Tequila!" as everybody screams it out. Mr. Light is just grinning from ear to ear. Amazing! Anybody else have any performances that you would like to do? He like shields his eye against the spotlight, scanning the crowd. Ah. I see some Witchlight hands in the audience!
Voda actually sinks down into her seat a bit.
Okay.
I'm right between you two, so I look back and forth. What? Go do the thing! Do the thing! I don't know what the thing is, but do it!
I scoot over and I will grab Voda's hand and raise it.
What are you doing?
Does Mr. Light seem to notice?
Oh yeah, he does. He's staring in your direction. Absolutely.
I druid craft 2 flowers. I jump up and put them in your hats.
I lean in and I say, I know you can do it.
It's going to make a fool of myself out there.
No, you have not yet. Now go.
Is he just waiting?
Yeah, you just see Mr. Light in the center just grinning ear to ear with his clown painted face, eagerly looking your direction, and he looks and he says, and it just kind of like seems like it's only something that you can hear. He just says, "Voda, I know you can do this. Come, impress the crowd."
I slowly make my way out.
Yeah, it feels like you're just, it's that like hushed moment of like you can't hear any of the music or the noise of the crowd as you're just kind of like that, like whoomp, 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 like everything just kind of sounds muffled as you're walking across. All right, you get to the center of the arena, standing next to Kiwi, who's still bathing in the light of his performance. What do you do, Voda?
Is he doing an introduction thing too, or is he expecting me just to start?
He looks over and he says, "Look at who we have here! Voda Windove, one of our own Witchlight hands. Tonight she graces us with a performance. Now please, Voda, the stage is yours."
I take a breath, got the paintbrush, and give like a light tap on the ground to make the tentacle come up.
Mm-hmm.
It's Francois! It's Francois!
The tentacle waves back at Rosen.
I guess I would use a combination of a couple things. I dip the brush part into like the bottom of the tentacle, like the pool is. Flick it up and cast create water.
Okay.
Then
Fling it
with
into the
that,
air.
I start to essentially do my argumentative performance as I shape water shaped into the like Witchlight symbol.
Oh, cool. And I would even say that with the way that you manipulate water and ink and everything, and because it's coming from the inky tentacle, it's all like a rainbow of colors in the air. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Give me a performance check at advantage, please.
Ooh.
Whoa!
There you go.
And that's
Damn, son.
and that is amazing. So you hear I think I'll share the Big Top handout art now because it's appropriate as fire breathers accentuate this performance. As there's this magical just moment as little mephits fly around the air, smoke mephits, fire mephits, just like emerging from the things as suddenly highlighted in the middle of the. This is, you know what this is like, Voda? This is like the like Disneyland's the water feature at Disneyland California Adventure, if you know what that is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where there's just suddenly this like this wall of mist is just shot into the air, and in it you can just see this beautiful scene, like it is painted on the water itself, of the Witchlight Carnival, like a sky view of the Big Top, the symbol of the Witchlight Carnival on it, Mr. Light, Mr. Witch, and you look over your shoulder, Voda, as you admire your handiwork above you, and a little teardrop of like a teardrop falls down Mr. Light's cheek as he smiles at you and looks at you. The crowd is just immediately just erupts in massive cheers, and even some of the Witchlight hands who are performing can't help but like stare in awe at this, like, what the fuck? It's beautiful, it's amazing. Everybody starts, cheering manically. There's roses thrown into the arena as Mr. Light says, Voda, Kiwi, what brilliant performances! Take a bow! You've earned your applause for the Big Top extravaganza. I don't think we've had performances like this ever in the past. Good job, good job, good job! As you do that, you hear as like fireworks go off outside, and you can see the light kind of like reflecting on the tent's ceiling. Immediately, the air is filled with the scent of candy and more brownies and cookies as the mood of the carnival goes up another level.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, wait, thank you, sir.
Oh, wow.
It's nice to finally be on the stage here.
This actually, you now, like, as compared to when, like, there was the proposal, this is, like, in the amount of, like, joyousness and stuff, like, flowers, you can hear flowers, like, exploding into bloom outside. The mood raised by 3 levels because both Kiwi and Voda performed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Hey.
Meanwhile,
Good to
Zug's
know.
just Fortnite dancing in the stand over here.
Just doing the orange thing.
Bossing.
At max mood, we all get charmed. Camping over.
Yeah. Yeah. As the
I'm there for
performance
it.
winds down, you file your way out back into the fairgrounds, and everything. It's like you've walked into a different carnival. The lights now are like dancing throughout the sky. Constantly, they're shooting stars of all different colors above you. The sights, smells, and sounds are just almost overwhelming as you feel like you are in just a surreal environment. Those who are Feylost or have been to the Feywild suddenly just kind of have like PTSD flashback moments, and it's like almost fucking like, return to Vietnam, but like return to Feywild as you step out of the Big Top and immediately find yourself just like, wow, I'm in the Feywild. Like everything about this right now is just elevated to that level of just surreal and extreme. But it's so fun, and it's so wild, it's so amazing and interesting. As you stand there outside the Big Top, you hear like some of the patrons and individuals walking past, some of the people who are fairgoers, just like, oh, that was amazing, Kiwi, that was so sick. Voda, I can't believe what you just did there. Can I get your autograph? Like they're like, as a kid, like, can you sign my doll? And holds out ironically holds out a plush of a Displacer Beast that looks exactly like Dirla.
Aww.
Sign my dolly, please.
I take out a paintbrush, then fit into my palette before signing it. And then I hand the paintbrush to Kiwi before stopping and then grabbing the big paintbrush and handing it over.
Thank you. Sign like very slowly. Okay.
As the child smiles and beams back up at you and walks away with his parents, you hear kind of heavy footfalls behind you, and you turn around to see Burley in his pumpkin helmeted head looking down at you, at the group.
Oh, that was quite the performance you did in there. Nothing, completely eclipsed my strength, my feats of strength, but, that's okay. Kind of hard to compete with, the brilliant colors and that wonderful song you played. Tequila, my favorite song, and I've never heard it played that way. Completely wild.
Oh, I thank you. I mean, your feats were my inspiration, really.
He looks down at his feet.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
They are magnificent, sir.
Beside the point, though, I'm here to offer you something splendid. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light would like an audience with all of you after your amazing performance there at the Big Top Extravaganza. If you will come this way, they await at their wagon in the staff area. Please follow me.
I'm assuming that was said in a sort of a "you're not going to refuse" sort of way, or is it generally like a
No,
genuine...
he's not being threatening. He's just offering this, and he
Okay.
kind of, he follows it up with like, "This is a massive honor. They don't often get audiences with anybody."
Yeah, I didn't mean it in terms of he is threatening us, but rather it was just assumed we'd accept because of the honor involved.
Yeah.
Okay. I just immediately start following after, even though I had nothing to do with the performance.
All right. Anybody else protesting, or everybody else going along with this?
And Voda immediately followed.
Okay. So, we watch as the camera follows the group as you move around to the side of the big top tent, making your way through some trees and,
Can I, as we're traveling, sorry,
Go ahead.
I really want to just like pay really close attention to like the area that we're walking through. Anyone else, like, is it just our group and Burley? Is it?
Oh.
Is there
me a
anyone
perception check,
else walking around?
Cinemaster Pig Girl.
And then any also in thinking about that piece of it, anything like popping out in terms of decor shift or mood shifter or whatever.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just kind of all of that. So perception.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I have one thing to follow up after this too.
Okay, go ahead, Zug.
Well, you said the Feylost. This feels like we're back in the Feywild.
Yeah, just from the amount of like the over-the-top like sensory overload that is happening right now.
But do I get a sense that there's actually something shifting us that way, or is it just an emulation?
You can give me a investigation check.
You got it. If I can find where investigation is.
That sensory overload has a really
the sensory overload. The sensory overload is definitely you're definitely feeling it, Zug. But this is a facsimile of what the Feywild is. It's not a cheap imitation. It's a very good imitation. Almost feels real, but just uncanny valley, almost.
Okay.
It's basically the level of like when you're at Disneyland and you're just really into it. And you're just like, man, I'm in Avengers, and you're just like, wait a second, I'm not in Avengers. All right. So, Rosen, you look around, and out of the corner of your eye, you see in the like trailing behind you about 20-25 feet, Kittle Steam, just kind of like hiding behind like a tent flap. Very badly hiding behind a tent flap. But you don't see anything else. You don't see anything else unusual. The mood continues, though a little bit. I would say it's like as you're moving around the outskirts of the tent, and you can kind of see something interesting ahead of you. It's a large, what looks almost like a wall. It is like you're walking behind the scenes of you know, like behind the scenes of a theme park where the music and stuff is not as loud back here. However, the trees are still blooming with foliage, and the plants and the bushes still have beautiful flowers all over them. It's just that, like, it's a little bit more subdued.
Once you get behind everything.
Yep. As you approach what looks to be this wall, you realize it's actually a tangled wall of thorns that rises up in front of you in a circle behind the big top. And as Burley approaches, he raises a hand, and suddenly a door opens. You hear like the crackling and bending of foliage as a doorway appears in the wall of thorns. And beyond it, you can see caravans in a circle.
Assume this would be where we usually would stay. Like, this is where our quarters are.
Yeah, this is where all the RVs are parked. And as you walk through here, you see a very decorated wagon in the center that both Velka and Voda know is Witch and Light's wagon. Sitting at the foot of it is a grumpy-looking clown with some strange painted wings on, who's smoking from a bubble pipe. He gives an angry, curt nod to Burley. It's kind of like surly looking, like.
Is he crusty?
Burley looks at him and says, "Well met, Thaco." Thaco just looks at him and just gives a grunt. The doorway of the wagon creaks open, and you see two individuals sitting inside, and a smile appears on the face of Mr. Light, and in the background in the darkness you can see Mr. Witch.
Ah! So glad that you accepted our invitation. Please, please, come inside.
As we're walking to the door, Voda is going to everyone in the group and digitating every time she sees a speck of dirt.
Very nice. And that's where we're going to end tonight, as you step up into the wagon of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. They welcome you into the staff area here behind the big top.
There's probably just a little, like, soft comment just so the group can hear when we approach the wagon that Thaco must be in the good mood tonight.
Yeah. He's in that.
Look at that face.
Oh yeah, dude. Thaco is hilarious. Here you go. This is a full art for Thaco.
Okay.
Yep.
What sass? Fucking sass in that stance. That is amazing.
Indeed.
I just love the description we got for him. Literally, he's just grumpy ass clown.
Yep. So as you approach, this is the sight you see. It's a little bit intimidating. You see that.
Holy fuck, that's actually terrifying.
Yeah, that doesn't look ominous at all.
Voda is all smiles.
So this is them inviting us into their trailer?
Yep.
Alright. Spooky.
Exactly. That's where we'll start next week. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
More
this
learned,
setting
more
is
things,
wild.
more wildness happening tonight.
My notes are going to be way too dense for each session at this rate. There's so much going on.
Well, this is the moment where things are being set up. So you are learning quite a lot. What actually is going on? What is like more to the, or what's going on behind the scenes here at the Witchlight Carnival that even Velka and Voda aren't aware of? I feel like this is something interesting too for like Velka and Voda from a character standpoint of for all this time they've never heard of any of these things that like Kettle Steam has talked about. It's the first time they've heard about the Hourglass Cove and all these types of things. Kind of like seeing your idols through like a new lens, right? Like Mr. Witch and Mr. Light have been the center of the Witchlight Carnival for as long as they can remember. Gave them a home, gave them a job. And now you're starting to learn that things might not be as they seem, and that some stuff might be falling apart or fraying at the seams.
It is actively being ignored.
Yep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Actively being mulled over, and Velka is very much trying to figure out how to get Voda to understand without also crushing her spirit.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Are we pulling a metaphysical Enron? I feel like that's what's about to happen here.
Very nice. Well,
That's what it is. I'm super happy.
So not only did you impress the proprietors by performing so well at the Big Top Extravaganza, but in doing so, you elevated the mood of the carnival to maximum. Therefore, have got an audience with them. So we'll pick
Watch
up
us
on that.
ruin that next session.
Yeah, we'll pick up on that next time as we return. Thank you all for a solid session. I'm gonna end the stream and good shit. Good shit.
Yeah.
On this next. Be right back.
Yeet.
All right. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. I am Scuznugget, your DM GM. Tonight we've had Zug the Unmany, played by Mr. Chuckle Smash. Velka Windove, played by Gastroy. Voda Windove, played by Mr. or Mrs. Neon. And Kiwi, played by Porkins. And Rosin Gray, played by my lovely wife, Gecko. He's right. There. We'll be picking up on this next time as they meet Mr. Witch and Mr. Light in a nice little one-on-one conversation. Till next time. Goodbye.